Hey traders, welcome to another edition of the Crypto Lab with Alex every Thursday, featured by Trading Analysis. I hope you are all well. And as every week, we're going to dive into a little bit of macro outlook, and also we're going to dive into a Bitcoin and Ethereum chart and some other altcoins as they call them. And also we will look at the latest news, so welcome. Please pose your question in the comment section if you want some of the cryptos that you are tracking for me to analyze. I will be glad to do so after we finish the main subjects here. Okay, so let's start. Let's look a little bit what's going on the news front. As you know, relatively bearish sentiment was prevailing in the last couple of weeks, and I still see a bearish sentiment is going forward. Hey Lee, yeah, heat is also very big here. We are usually over 40 degrees in the last couple of days, but luckily my office is in my house and it is in a basement, so it's a little bit cooler. So it's okay. So, as I see in the news, BlockFi rate cut on the Bitcoin deposits leaves rivals scratching heads. This is the second time that the BlockFi has cut deposit rates on the Bitcoin. Also, we have seen the news regarding one of the members of a congressional hearing regarding Bitcoin, and one of the members changed the tune of his narrative because he was mainly for the crypto markets, and now he's suggesting actually that the crypto assets should have a backdoor or the blockchain, so you can go in wherever you like, which is basically going against the whole crypto philosophy. And as you can see, what happened in China, which definitely expelled all of the miners, which are now migrating, and the hash rate dropped. We are seeing also further pressures. We also have seen from the UK the ban on further Binance functioning, and also in some parts of Canada. So as I see this crypto winter, as we call it, for the last couple of weeks, and we were looking for that for the also last couple of months, it's still unfolding in full force, and we didn't see a long-awaited recovery on the crypto space. Unfortunately, a lot of the crypto people, which are relatively new to markets, probably was involved in buying dips, which was not very beneficial for the time being. And I don't see that happening. I just see a potential correction unfolding, which might be very soon or in a couple of weeks. So on the CoinDesk news, which are relatively good for all of this tracking what is going on with the crypto markets, there is not much of the happenings in the last couple of days except of this regulation news. So we can go and look a little bit of Bitcoin dominance chart, which we track in relation between the cryptos and Bitcoin and other cryptos. But I think, as I said many times, that these altcoins, I don't like that expression. They are viable projects, which should be called differently. And I hope really soon, as the blockchain space develops in the world, actually we will see some partition of dependence of these viable projects from the price of a Bitcoin, which is basically changing its own narrative. It started as a currency, now is a store of value. Of course, I think that exponential rise will be much better if it starts to use as a currency. We are seeing the attempt of El Salvador to make, and they already made actually Bitcoin their legal tender, so it will be kind of a small experiment to see how that will function. So on a Bitcoin dominance chart, it's still a corrective process. We didn't post a new high, which does not mean that this ABCL of fourth wave is not over. It might be over, but I don't still see endangering of this lower trend line, which is corrective pullbacks are usually contained within the parallel trend lines. So this might morph into some type of a triangle, but anyhow, in one point in time, I will expect Bitcoin to drop to this 3606, where we will see a five-wave sequence basically fulfilled from this high in the beginning of 2021. So very relatively simple wave count, five waves up, and this is three waves down in A, three waves up in B, and this is an expanded flat. An expanded flat can almost retrace 88%, and we usually recognize that in the technical analysis as the double bottom. You can probably hear that expression many times. So from there, we have been moving down in one, up in two, very sharp characteristic movement down in the wave three, pullback in the wave four. It might be over, it might not, we will see. But eventually break of this channel and further move to the downside will qualify this move to for this final fifth wave, from where we should correct at least to 51 or even begin some new trend if this is a flat on the upside. So we will see how that will go. So nothing new there. Pretty much it is developing as we were thinking. So we're just gonna track from one form or the other of this corrective pattern for now. A possibility we're gonna finish this at the new low close to this 36, 37 levels. So on the market cap news, we don't have anything significant. Bitcoin dropped from 1.2 trillion almost in a half. It even dropped, I think, week before less than 600 billion. So we are moving around, and people which are kind of telling the overall crypto community that we might go back to 1.2 trillion so easily. I don't think so. Looking all of the current liquidity narrative in the world, I think we will still spend time accumulating, and that will be a little bit more harder ship process than it was before. As well with the others, Ethereum is holding good, 248 billion, and then you can scroll out this Binance Coin, Cardano, Dogecoin, XRP. The case is still on. Polkadot is at night, and Uniswap, this is the first 10 larger by the market cap. Solana is approaching this first 10. It is progressing very rapidly on the upside. And probably soon we are trading a little bit less than 10 billion. Uniswap is a little bit over 10 billion. So if Solana starts to keep up this pace on the upside, we might see Solana in the first 10 place very soon. Litecoin moved to 14th place. It was 6th or 7th place just a couple of weeks ago. Chainlink on the 15th. Then we have a Theta, Internet ICP. Ethereum Classic jumped a little bit in the last week. So Stellar is already 21st. So some of the participants, which was before in the first 10, and as I said, I was also very vocal about these changes that it will happen in the first 10 places regarding the market cap, and there will be more of them as the projects are coming. So let's dive a little bit into macro space. Let's look what's going on with the 10-year yield. So one of the things that almost all traders in the planet are looking, what is going on in yields. Are we still in an inflation narrative? For how long the inflation it will be? Are we going to be in a hyperinflation maybe? So there is all sorts of stuff out there, but technically, if you look, we are just consolidating here between these two support and resistance levels. Let's just keep it as simple. Next support level is around 110. So we are holding this 1.4 support, and most probably Sometimes we must be aware that summer is already starting. COVID is a little bit less troublesome for traveling, so people will go away and we'll have a summer trading, which we already have. Liquidity might drop. So maybe we will just meander, but if the CPI and some of the other measurements starts to further move on the upside, and we have NFP, non-farm payrolls on tomorrow, this might continue on the upside, probing or testing these upper resistance levels around 2%. On the Europe front, situation in the 10-year German Bund price, so this is just inverted, it's not yields, because the wave structure is a little bit more clearer. We are still in a sideways price action, only 3 waves down, and that is the main reason technically why I think this inflation will be a transitory, especially in Europe, as long as this fourth wave support holds. I think we will meander probably more in a sideways manner, or if we get something more complex directional towards this level, after this expires, I think we will get one more move on the upside in this deflationary environment where the in the year or year and a half. So I'm just tracking this to kind of have orientation regarding this inflation narrative. And one place to look for that is definitely yields or the price of bonds. So if we look a little bit US dollar, let's also look at that and what's going on the DXY. And it's continuing to moving on the upside. I consider this to be a small truncation. Truncation is the phenomenon in the Elliott wave when the last sequence actually fails to post a marginal low, which happened here. As you can see, we didn't manage to do and trade below 89.1665. But you can squeeze out a 5-wave move either in a diagonal or in a kind of a more normal 5-wave sequence here, which means that most probably this was a truncation. And if we see a fully developed 5-wave move, which we already have, we posted a minor high here, so easily we can do it like this. Although I don't think usually we will climb to this next resistance, which is the previous fourth wave, so a little bit more upside. This might morph into a small triangle or something, but for now we have, let's say, not fully developed 5-wave sequence, which will qualify dollar index to go in a little bit of a correction and then continue on the upside. And you can see that wave structure on many commodities. If you look the soybean and some others, you can also find copper as well, that which is normal correlation between the dollar and commodities. When the dollar goes up, commodities goes down. And I think until the end of the year, this will stay. This is also happening on gold, although in another sequence. Gold is actually moving into a consolidation. We are tracking this 5-wave sequence from this high, and this also pairs with the possibility we find the low in gold around December 2021, January 2022, which also corresponds to this ABC in dollar, and it also corresponds a little bit with Bitcoin. I'm kind of trying to fit and time some of these large macro plays, and also pair them with a little bit of inflation deflation narrative, and also with a Bitcoin possibility regarding liquidity, tapering issues from the QE and all of that, what we have heard from Fed. So this is developing story regarding the mandate that actually the Fed had, which is actually the lowest unemployment, and as well as persistent inflation above 2%. So we're going to continue to observe. For now, we didn't buy, literally, we didn't buy gold because of this possibility that this was an X wave. We noticed that we didn't have a clear 5 waves up, and that qualified this to be just some type of an X wave, or we are in a big triangle. I don't know that support level is around 1670. So if this is a triangle, we will know actually when we have this potentially D wave. So for now, I'm still going to look a little bit lower, down to 1,500, 1,600, around this area. Where is this support, and also some timing ratios, and this might unfold instead of the triangle into a little bit more complex corrective pullback. So we are tracking several wave counts, and it served us good because we had lots of members which were eager to go long on gold, because the narrative in the media was like that, that inflation is going to explode. And actually the gold moved on the upside, but luckily we have our multi-wave platform, and we have also our elite wave methodology, which prevented us to act on this move on the upside, because we didn't see a clear 5-wave movement and actually labeled this as an X wave. We have seen a 5-wave move, still probably not completed, a little bit of pullback and then a continuation to the downside, and it's a similar situation with the silver. Okay, so that's a little bit of macro outlook, just to give you a taste of what is going on in the different markets, which usually the big guys are looking. So let's move to the Bitcoin and to the crypto space. And as you know, for you which are regularly coming to this channel, we are tracking this correction in this probable green wave 4. So one of our main wave counts for now is that this is a wave 1 and 2 from the lows in January 2019, and that the wave 3 actually completed here close to 200%, and that we are in some type of an ABC pullback down to, let's say, 1820, 22K, from where we should see potential development of another 5-wave move on the upside. So there is a main two questions. First, what is the environment that will come potentially in January or December 2022 and December 2021? What is the actually the narrative or the environment, why the Bitcoin actually should start to go up from some of these highs? So I think that usually how this happens is that this will be probably a slow process, because around 20K there will be a lot of buyers, and they might produce this first wave on the upside, and then a second wave might also take some time. So we are talking about March, April 2022, where we might see that the Fed maybe change its stance if inflation is not so big, and maybe they will pull a lever and just leave the liquidity, which might propel Bitcoin further on the upside, as well as gold. Or we might see some extra exogenous event from outside, which nobody is looking for, and that might produce this move on the upside. So we will see. We don't know in this moment. All we know, looking at the technical picture, is that this qualifies now as a counter correction. With this correction here, they're usually equal in time, which will give us timing around January 2022. The next timing is July, because usually sometimes we have these two ratios in time relation works very well. There is also a possibility of the earlier move at October 2021, but looking at the pace, how this correction is developing, I think actually we will go for the next couple of months towards this December, January as the first target. So this is our base case. No, I'm not saying best case, but the base case, which means that this is our first scenario that we are looking. Something more on the downside, we have something in our back pocket. So we are looking this on this kind of a channel line and RSI basis, and as well as hypothesis that this was a kind of a irregular triangle with a small e. 5 waves up, we completed the orange wave 3 higher, and we are in some type of the orange wave 4, which might take us down in some very complex correction towards 12,000, 10,000. But for now, I don't think this scenario has anything to do with the current situation. So currently, we are still going to look at, as long as this 14,000 holds, where is our wave counter validation, we're going to continue to track this ABC pullback. So going on a smaller time frame, there is several options here. So as you noticed, we are developing, and we already developed condition for a possible 5-wave move. There is several options here. I will just erase this probability of a further downside, just first to explain you a complex corrective pullback in a B wave. So after a 5-wave move, which completed most probably around 28K, going down below this support for just a small spike and then returning. So what we have only 3 waves up, which qualifies this for several patterns development. Okay, so one of the patterns which might develop if we started this B wave is actually WXY, or it can be some large B wave triangle, so we still don't know yet. The support for the X wave, so when you have a 3-3-3 correction, that's usually a complex or a double zigzag. And in this case, we have a support around between 30 and 32K. And now we are going towards it. If you look the smaller time frame, so let's go on 1 hour. And if you magnify the picture, you will notice that we went up in a 5 waves. We were long here. We were stopped out for a very small loss. So we tried to capture this move on the upside, but the pattern morphed relatively differently than I thought originally, and for that reason and the possibility of another move to the downside, I limited our risk, and we stayed very well within our risk parameters. And then it developed another 5 waves. So this is only a 3-wave sequence. This is not a reversal sequence. This is a part of a bigger correction. So I'm tracking something in either immediate X or something like A up in B down in C. So this will be my key support level between 30 and 31. And my key resistance levels will be around 40K. So I'm not going to think of anything bullish in a Bitcoin until we go above these crucial resistance levels, which is visible to everybody. So there is also the previous spikes and consolidation here, 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 and here. So I don't think we will penetrate that so easily. So I'm gonna follow this possibility of the X wave, W on the upside in a B wave, and then we will look for a confirmation for this further 5-wave move lower towards this 1820K. Okay, so this is now our main working scenario, and we are showing you this with a little bit of changes because that's natural as market change for already last couple of crypto labs. One more possibility here is that this is some type of an ending diagonal. I will still not subscribe or ascribe much of probability for that, which will give us that this 5th wave still not completed and has a little bit more downside down to this secondary ratio. So when you measure some ratios for the target for the 5th wave, and I think I displayed that very clearly on my Twitter feed. And if you look this chart, it resembles, and I did it before it happened. So I looked for, while Bitcoin was dropping, I was looking for a reversal from some of this area around 30,000 or secondary. So because usually we have 2 targets, depends how long the 3rd wave is and some of the ratios that we use. Usually we measure this potential 5 wave down to 25 or 30K. So we reacted from 30K on the upside. But the current reaction is not so it's not so strong, I would say. So in general, I will count this either as an attempt to reach this 40K, or there is one more structure which we can put here and potentially look to a low down to this secondary target, which is around 20k, and that is the ending diagonal. So ending diagonals are not very common. There is a usual of practitioners that are drawing this so-called wedges or ending diagonals, but these diagonals has a strict rules and you cannot put them everywhere. So this also can be counted as a 5-wave move. It can be counted as a 3-wave, I agree, but it resembles more a 5-wave move to my knowledge, and that's why I will be more in line for this to be some type of an X-wave and a further continuation towards this 40k. So even let's say we are maybe in descending diagonal, just to mention it. So this will be a wave 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we will potentially end around this 26,000, from where we might continue further on the upside for this B wave reversal. So either from this X wave support that I told you, or a little bit lower, I expect further move up to 40k, but I'm more for the first version, which means that I'm gonna actively look to put some small trade on the move on the upside on this scenario in WXY. Okay, so I'm gonna look for these levels to hold. I will wait a little bit of confirmation, and maybe we're gonna trade to make some percentage on the upside, and then definitely here we will be looking to go short because the overall wave structure implies that this is just the first part of a correction. Wherever you have a 5-wave move in Elliott wave sequence, you know that after a correction there will be another sequence to the downside. So this is my outlook on a Bitcoin. I think we were very thorough on it. If you have any question on the Bitcoin, please type it in because I would like to move on and show you some other things that we are tracking here. So any questions, just type it in on a Bitcoin. Nope? Okay. Let's look Ether. So Ether, we are looking similarly. So as you can see, we are consolidating here. My best case scenario for Ether is that this is some type of a triangulation or more complex correction. I'm going to look for the same similarity as in the Bitcoin. So this was the wave 2, a very progressive wave 3. We reached this 3 Fib cluster, which is a very strong. So how do we get these Fib clusters in general? We get these clusters by combining several ratios from the higher and lesser degree of the sequence. Okay, so this triple kind of a cluster of ratios was insurmountable for the Ether. We dropped down very heavily, 5 waves down. This might be some type of a pullback, and then either a sideways or a more complex correction towards this 1000, 1200. And the other support which I'm looking is around the latest lows, around 1600, 1500. So overall it's this area here, and I'm tracking this time sequence. To me it's still not clear. It's much lesser clear than a Bitcoin. In a sense of an immediate price action. So Ether on a smaller time frame, I'm looking a little bit differently, and Ether on the smaller time frame, I'm looking for a little bit deeper pullback upside in this X wave. So from this potential 5-wave sequence, this was some type of a triangle 5-wave move lower, which has a little bit of a truncation. And then we have a 5 waves up. I'm expecting a B wave to develop, and then potentially another move up in X wave. And if we get the X wave on the upside, then we should get also the Y wave, which will qualify Ether to go a little bit lower below 1500 mark. Okay, so I'm still trying to see, is this some type of a big triangle or something a little bit of a move lower. So by the development, guys, I still I will still stay on the stance that this is a crypto winter. I will not, at least from my point of view, looking all of this evidence that we have for now, I will still say that we we didn't cross even a half of this crypto winter. Okay, so something which will make me question my view is that if I see some 5-wave sequence up to above 42, 46K, and for now we only see a 3-wave sequence which increase the probability that this is just going to be a temporary correction, the Bitcoin will continue lower. And we also know that the stock market is pretty much higher. We might get a little bit more inflation narrative. Yields go up in July, August, September. Stock market also goes in a little bit of a correction, and there it goes. Bitcoin will drop because of liquidity, because of the VAR, because of the many of the correlated things in a sense of a liquidity into the system with other assets classes. So I don't see a situation where the stock market is correcting, moving lower, and Bitcoin is going up. So that most likely is not going to happen. So I see overall environment is still on the bearish side, which is confirmed by this technical outlook. If you look all of these components that we actually present you here and also to our members. So if you want to check out our work, you can visit us at crypto currency room or tab in tradinganalysis.com. You can go on our website. We have many of the things with the trading app, and we are one of the very rare professional trading houses that actually also trades cryptos. Mainly what you can get out there is analysis. Nobody puts publicly their capital on the line for cryptos. We do that at Trading Analysis. So we trade with our members, and we are actually explaining where we are seeing the best possible trades. We have a very rigorous risk management because the cryptos are very volatile, and so far this was working nicely. Our minus years are very low in percentage, down to 1%, and our plus year can go just from the swing trading up to 25 to 30%. So we are very happy with that we don't waste the capital of our members, and we are very careful about the positioning. So we have a cryptocurrency repository with a multi-wave. We have a Discord group, which is great, trading analysis app. We have a weekly members webinar where we analyze over 50, even sometimes 60 cryptos. We also have a short-term updates in Discord. We have a chart room. I don't know, can you just give me comments, guys, regarding chart rooms? Is the chart rooms are over, I mean, they're like a past century thing. What do you think about the chart room, guys? I mean, the things are changing fast. Maybe, I think a video chart room will be better when you can go through the video. I have to talk with Todd regarding this. I think that the charts which are staying for a couple of days are just something which is thing of the past. I would like to hear your comments on that. I've been speaking with Terry back and forth in trading analysis, but chart rooms are, I don't know, I don't see them very functional anymore, especially in crypto space. You post a chart and tomorrow everything is changed. So okay, so let me just continue and let's hear your questions. I think I completed Ether regarding the outlook, so a little bit more in this crypto winter couple of months. As long as we hold this area, I will be happy in regards of potential eventual move on the upside. This upside can be pretty sizable, but I don't want to talk about it until I see how this potential corrective pullback will unfold. It can be also a triangle. It can be also a big wave too on the downside. So I'm just joking. I'm just playing with some of the possible options. I'm still gonna stay bullish on Ether, looking for a further consolidation. Okay, so as the other cryptos are developing, and I'm looking some of the longer term possible entries. I like ADA very much, as I said many times. So ADA is consolidating pretty and holding pretty nicely. In this move, we didn't lost so much um, of the mojo, as I said, or mojo, as you say it, from the highs. We lost only almost 60%. So this is the log scale. So it's pretty sizable. But I think we might even lose a little bit more if this is just an X wave or a triangle. But anyhow, after this correction is over, I think ADA looks very nice from the wave perspective. If you look the 5 waves up, a complex pullback and then another in a third wave reaching 1618% of Fib ratio, which is our usual ratio for the wave 3 target. And now, as you can see, we are consolidating either a triangle or a complex, but anyhow, whatever it is, I would like, when I have a certainty of this pattern, I will be a buyer of ADA on the further upside. There is also, we also talked about Kusama. Kusama is moving still lower. This was just an X wave on the upside. Many people were thinking Kusama will go to a new high. You always have to be aware of these X waves. They're very vicious because they can actually mimic the potential bullishness, but you can see afterwards what happens. So Matic is also holding very good. I'm very bullish on Matic. This is just a consolidation, either a triangle, or I will actually cheer that Matic comes to 0.30 because I will buy whole load of them for a possible move on the upside. Of course, I will wait for some confirmations. I will not go blindly on this base channel support. But as you can see here, we were advising our members to go long up to these levels, and that worked well with this base channel. So we might repeat that. We might go down to this, and that will be actually a gift for the further move on the upside. So some of the gainers is Solana. So I don't know if Solana is still in this bullish trend. Maybe this is just the fourth wave. We go up and then down and then up. The clarity is still not there, but definitely a sideways price action. We also look the XRP. XRP, it doesn't look good. It's just a 5-way move to the downside. So I'm not looking something especially on this. Luna is definitely still in a corrected pullback, and as you can see, we go through all over these cryptos for our members on these webinars and trying to see and keep our members out of this crazy bullish narrative in a sense that Bitcoin will post a new high very soon. I don't see that. I don't think it's going to happen. And as I've been very vocal also to my members along these lines until we pass in clear 5-wave sequence, which is already nullified. I mean, if this starts to develop down in 3 waves, I think every chance of Bitcoin surpassing 40K will be dead. Okay, so be careful with that bullish outlook. You need to see a substantial evidence in this macro and also crypto environment that this will get another fuel and a couple of hundred of billions US dollars to go into crypto. So be careful. I could understand people buying crypto at 20,000 even if they don't know much about it. They will think, okay, it dropped from 62, 64K to 20K, so it's almost more than a double. So why should I buy? Why shouldn't I buy it? Just by simple logic, it's already dropped that much. So this will be a more sensible kind of an entry than from here on the upside. Okay, so one more thing, Dogecoin, which has been capturing attention of the many crypto enthusiasts. Started as a joke, but now it's becoming serious. 30-40 billion dollars in it already. If you look just this sequence, there is more price chart on the other platforms, but just this sequence where we are is still depicting a possibility of the prolonged fourth wave. So wave 1 and 2 up in 3, ABC, possibly this will be an X and another move down, or some type of a triangle. I still don't know. Triangles you cannot recognize until you have some type of a D wave. Even from there they can fail. I think it might still have this probability, so we will see. Anyhow, I would like to see it here because this will be a good buy, not good buy, but a good buy levels here around this support. Okay. Yeah, Kevin, I hear that stories, but I don't react on these stories. I mean, yeah, we all know Ethereum is going to be upgraded. There is going to be less of it. We're going to go. We're going to come to staking. But I still think this is just developments which will build up the future bullish narrative. But I don't think this bullishness will be visible immediately. Okay, so you need to find another couple of hundreds of billions of dollars to go into Ether. Okay. I'm just asking you where you're going to find that in this potential liquidity crisis that we might have. At least narrative of potential liquidity dropping is there. So narrative is enough. So I don't know how, I mean, from where do you think money will come from, Kevin? Just because of the fact that Ether is going to be better, it doesn't mean that the investors which needs to add will be interested to invest in it. So, I mean, I don't know. I have a more kind of a not pessimistic, but a more conservative mind. I don't react to this type. Of course, I know what is going on in a crypto space. I follow almost everything. But narrative and possible events of improvement of the protocol, all of that, that's all fine. It's a kind of a natural development of all of the blockchain space, and it's big. I mean, it might increase adoption, but when? Is this adoption is going to develop now, and we can push the prices above 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, or it might happen a little bit later when the other environment is suitable for the bigger guys which actually move markets to move in. So I don't know. There is so many things in between. I don't think just the fact that it's going to be improved, it's going to do much at this moment. We will see. Anyhow, if that happens, we will see it on chart. So I'm really not troubling myself with this type of things. Okay, so let me look some of the cryptos that you would like to see, and then we can close up. Binance Coin. Hey, Roger. Oh, I was thinking it's Roger F. No, Roger Federer is in Wimbledon. Hey, Swag. Lee, yeah, very hot. Oleg, always with us. How are you, Oleg? Meet Cantor. Are you new with us or William? Hello, William. Mr. Garrick. Hello, Mr. Garrick. We know Kevin. It was one of our members. C. Lewis. What do you want? Shiba. Is that Shiba coin? Oh my God. Shiba. Let's look. Binance. Still consolidation. So Roger E, not Roger F. We are still consolidating. I don't see Binance. I'm not so bullish by any means on Binance yet. It can be a triangle. It can be a AW XY in B down in C. It can be directly here a triangle in X and then down in C towards this 130, 170 level. So for now, I'm not bullish. I don't know where people are rushing. But I also get this from some members. Oh, well, what's going on? What's going on? You know, let's. But guys, I mean, this is a consolidation. It's going to take time, and the recovery is going to be slow. It's not going to be like a trillion. It's going to go in it and it's going to push it immediately to 60K. So why people are rushing? I don't get this idea. Let's look Shiba. Shiba. Okay, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna use other platform for this Shiba coin. Well, after a beautiful move on the upside and even more beautiful move on the downside, Shiba is moving sideways. I have no idea where will this go for now. 5 waves up, and my take will be that Shiba will go further lower. Something along this line towards these levels. 0 point and then I don't know, 6 zeros, 0.37. I mean, why you should be any interest in Shiba coin? I mean, from speculative purpose, yes, but I don't know. I mean, how useful Shiba will be in the future, I don't know. Okay, but that's your choice. I mean, Tron, yeah, okay, Tron is not much, doesn't have such a nice wave structure, 5 waves down, so on the higher time frame it also doesn't look so good. We still need lots of signs that Tron will develop this bullish sequence, which we don't see for now. Okay, so Tron might even do something like this, so 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and then we go, I don't know, further lower. I don't see any signs here of the recovery for now. I really don't know. There is only 3 waves up here from the lows. We invalidated, or still if we get a triangle, it will be okay. But for now, it doesn't look healthy to me. Only 3 waves up. Okay, so you want to look Riot, okay, that's trading view platform. Let's look Riot. I think I have already wave count on that. Yeah, it's basically the same. Our view was that we are in a larger consolidation, which is actually unfolding. So I still look this in a 5-wave move. 5 waves up in 1, down in 2, very nice and very discernible 5 waves up in a wave 3, reaching one of the most common ratios, 1618 here, as you can see. And then we have a 3 waves down and then some recovery. So this can be a complex correction coming down to here, 16, 15, and then moving in this 5th wave, or we can maybe stay contained in this triangle and then move on the upside when the crypto winter passes. Okay, so in some more further downside, support is around 1724. So ABC, some type of an X and another ABC will put us a little bit below 15, 14 and a half, and then potential recovery. So as long as we trade in some reasonable time ratio of these two levels, and also above this wave count invalidation level, this is still kind of qualifies for some type of the 4th wave correction. Okay, so what would you like to see more? TXS. What is TXS? Is it a crypto or is it a ETF? Hey, Meet, would you please respond? What is your next request? TXS. It is a crypto or it is ETF? Um, okay, so hey Khalifa, what's up in Qatar? There is a real hot country, huh? 40 degrees here looks like a cool place to you, man. Sushi. Let's look sushi. Sushi swap is yeah, we are still in this corrective pullback, so I think I have a sushi swap here. Why I'm going there? So sushi swap is still in some type of a corrective pullback. So it looks very nice if you look the whole wave pattern from this daily perspective. So 5 waves up, relatively nice. And then this was a final fifth wave, 3 waves down, and I think I think I mean I have a little bit of trouble recognizing this immediately, but I think we are in intermediate X wave triangle, and that after some time sushi will go down towards these 3, 4, 5 levels, which will be a great thing because from there it might start to recover and go further upside. So I will also cheer for the sushi to come here. Alternatively, if this is over, we're going to see 5 waves down and a pullback. So in any case, there is no rush to be now in the sushi. I mean, we are still in the process that we cannot define with a great probability. We don't have a confirmation that the trend on the downside has finished. So what we can do, we can make a hypothesis, the most likely one, and observe what's going on. So for now, nothing actually is developing there. The wave pattern are still much more bearish than bullish on sushi. Hey, Sanjeev, what's going on in Nepal? Is there high temperatures or it's a mountain, so up there is a little bit more cooler? Okay, guys, so I see somebody wants to look Tezos, which doesn't radiate some type of quality, definitely. Let me just remind us. Oh, it's cool there. Great. Nepal is a great place. I must visit it once in my life. Tezos, yeah. Mm, I don't know. I mean, this is not very kind of optimistic chart for now. Are we in something like this? I know I have no idea. So maybe this was a 5 waves up and we are in some type of a 335 with a little bit more downside. In any case, whatever the count it is, I think potentially Tezos is still not finished. So I will look for this support, next support to hold. So even if it goes a little bit more up, if we move down from there, 17, 16 will be some of the support regions where Tezos might find in this area a potential reversal level. So when the wave count is not clear to me, I usually don't touch that one, but let's do just some simple things. We can put some support resistance levels. We can also put some of the channels, some of the some of the indicators, which we have RSI. So RSI suggests we are at low, a little bit lower. Maybe we can bounce and then come back. Resistance is at 4.4, support is around 175. So we are mainly walking between, for the last couple of months, we are walking between this support and resistance with a little penetration on the upside, but I don't think this is yet finished. Oh, sure, Sanjay, yeah. In which town are you in Nepal? In the Chris? Hey, Chris, what's up, man? Engine coin. Okay, let's look engine coin. Nepal. Let's go to Nepal, guys. Where is my engine coin? Let's look the engine coin on the higher. Here it is. Okay, yeah, still consolidation, as you can see. Five waves up in one, down in two. Very nice wave three, reaching 1618, almost 200 fib levels progression. Three waves down, three waves up, three waves down. I don't think this is yet finished. I will expect a little bit more consolidation, looking this as a triangle or with a little bit more downside, but still looks fine from the time perspective. The last ratio from the timeline, it's around October, November, and the quickest one, which is coming, we already passed equality, I think. Yeah, we did. We reacted a little bit on the upside. 1618 is end of August. So it kind of have a decent support here, I would say, but we don't see clear five waves up here above these resistance levels that we can say that engine might produce something of a possible wave subdivisions towards this green wave 5. So we don't see any evidence of that. So I always look for evidence. So this, guys, this is like you're a doctor or you're a criminal investigator. You need to have a forensic, as a doctor, you need to kind of see where is the condition of the market, what is the pulse, and as a forensic, you need to see actually, do you see some traces or some signs where the markets wants to go? So you need to have your tools, and then actually you approach it. I approach it from that perspective. Yeah, I know Kathmandu is capital. Okay, of course. Probably waiting for the BTC. What does that mean, Chris? You mean we wait for the engine is waiting for the BTC? Oh, if it's waiting for the BTC, it's going to spend a little bit more in waiting, I think. Maybe if the Bitcoin goes up in towards this 40K, this will continue to the a little bit more upside. So we will see. Okay, guys, thank you on attention. I hope this crypto lab brings some of the outlook that you might find useful. And also you can visit our website or our service. You can get a trial. And we have a phenomenal team of Elioticians. I think is I will not say best on the world, because this will be a very arrogant of me, but among one of the best teams in the world, I think that's for sure. So if you like, you can visit our website. Also, you can join our free YouTube on Wednesday, where we talk a little bit about stocks and macro, more from Terry, Todd, and Bennett. I jump in with a little bit of cryptos, but for cryptos mainly my Twitter, our membership, and also the Crypto Lab. So hit the like button, which is valuable for us if you appreciate our effort. And see you next week, guys, on the same place at the same time. So until then, trade well, manage your risk, and COVID is still there. Be careful. So bye bye. See you.